of the economy to force a dependence on the West via tourism. And then they also kind of foment these like damn near massacres and kidnappings of civilians near coastal cities where they want to develop the local tourist economy there. Like they will drive people away. In parts of
Hey,
South Jamaica, they will drive
Whoa,
people away
can I
because of
interrupt?
with police brutality.
Can
Oh
I
wait,
interrupt
we
you?
are
we're
not.
stream crash.
Are
Whoa,
you
whoa, whoa, whoa,
fucking
wait a
kidding
second.
me?
Just
Yeah, it's
one
already
second.
running again, but how long were we offline for?
How long were we?
I don't know.
Oh, God. Do you know how hard it is for me to open up about my hatred for tourist economies, guys? Like, really?
Hey, we were
Well,
like offline like about 6 minutes. I count.
6 minutes? Okay.
6 minutes.
I'll take a deep
Oh,
breath and
goddamn
try
it.
this again.
Dude, wait,
Okay.
wait, hold on. I gotta restart it on Rockfin too. God damn it.
Gosh.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment about, like, hey, Mark, the stream is...
Yeah, but it's a restream issue, I think. It's really
Oh,
weird.
it just crashed.
The
That's the second
issues
time
with
it
the stream
happened, too.
lately.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
second time we have an issue already. The first time it was my issue with the OBS crashing or whatever. But this seems like a restream issue. I don't know.
Oh, they're watching, perhaps.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys are watching,
Careful.
fuck you.
Big Brother is watching you.
Yeah. And he can fuck all the way off.
Yep.
Yes.
And we can do nothing but bend over and take it up. You know where.
Up the Chinese vaccine.
Yeah, the anal swabs.
Yeah,
About,
up the Chinese vaccine anal swabs.
yeah, we can take it up the Chinese bat cave.
Well, they're gonna have to murder me because I'm not flying. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, not for however long I'm here. And if they show up at my door with that bullshit, I'm probably not gonna be nice as Jason Berman says. But I'm definitely gonna film them. I just don't have enough subscribers to go live while I do it. I'll have to upload it.
I'll boost your stuff, Mad Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, these two.
Did Jason Burmis get a visit that I was unaware of?
No, not yet, but whenever they were, doing their little press conference the other day about how we're going to start people that don't know how to get the vaccine.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
everyone,
They're
Jason
going
Burmis
door
here.
to
I'm
door
being
for the
visited by the
vaccine.
FBI.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was real. I saw that. They were talking about going door to door for vaccines, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, so he was I promise you that I'm going to give you the tongue lashing of your life and make you feel like a piece of shit that you are, is pretty much what he said in short.
What's your occupation? I'm a door-to-door vaccine salesman.
Door to door vaccine.
All right, are we back on the rock then?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Okay, deep breath here. Okay, yeah, so basically, thing with tourism, it's not to say that you can't travel to a place in the global south because, like, there really are beautiful cultures there. The problem is kind of the economy around tourism and the development for tourism, especially as it exists in the Caribbean today, is kind of like a modern version of colonialism and imperialism, because what the powers that be will do is they will block the development of the economy, so it creates dependence on the West, trade with the West, tourism with people coming in from the West and also parts of China as well. And then to develop these specific areas, these specific kind of like local areas for tourists, they will drive the local people out via like kidnappings and massacres. And like in parts of South Jamaica, there's a lot of problems with police brutality, which kind of force people out of those areas, and also just a lack of economic opportunity if you're not already in the tourism industry, if you're not kind of catering to the West and to, little white girls that want to get box braids in your own way. So it's like it drives people away from local tourist areas, and it creates these these little havens. It's, oh gosh.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Chloe. I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's
I
really
mean,
rooted in
the
a lot of
tourism-
like colonial nostalgia. It
The
is.
tourism is
It is.
not in the benefit of the people. It's more in the benefit of just the tourism industry.
Well, it takes the resources of the local population and it gives them to visitors at a super inflated rate at which none of that goes to the fucking locals.
Exactly.
I'm really glad that you said that thing about little white girls in box braids, because even though I'm a white girl, like I went to Jamaica in 2000 or 99. I was in college and show choir. Anyways, we performed on Carnival Cruise Line, so that was one of the trips we got to take. And I had my hair braided like halfway back from one of my friends that I went to college with that was actually from Jamaica. Well, anyways, I've been on the cruise like 5 days. My hair was looking kind of raggedy, so while I was off the ship, I thought, oh, I'm going to get my hair braided, and the girl told me $10 a braid. And I was like, whoa, you're high. I gave $10 for my whole head at home. I'll just leave my braids raggedy.
$10 a braid.
Damn.
What
like-
year was this?
Like
$10
2000,
a braid.
2001.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
no
that
way.
shit
I
ain't
only
cheap.
paid like $10 at home for my whole head. I think I traded weed for it.
$10 a braid. That would be like fucking $200 for your
At
whole hair.
least.
So-
But you
Yeah,
know,
do they
the
put
girls
that-
that don't have black girlfriends at home, they can braid their hair.
Those
would probably pay
prices
for it.
exist, gentlemen. If you want to get the beads, if you want to get the full extensions in, like, yes,
Expensive.
that shit gets expensive.
Yeah, no,
With
dude,
the
the
gold in there,
fucking.
what?
Well, I can't I
God,
can
what
confess
was
that
that
I've never
shit,
gotten my
but
hair
like-
braided, so I don't know.
That's why I'm
We'll
here,
try it.
okay?
There's that. They put gold braids in it or what?
Right?
Gold braids.
Gold braids, oh my
Yeah,
god.
try.
Twist and a handy? What the fuck, man?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, $10 a braid. That's
But I mean, if I
ridiculous.
wasn't like a white girl that had hookups at home, like, you know, like get her hair done for $10, like I would probably have paid that extortionist ass price. Like, it's just not that white girl.
Well, that's just for the braids. It's not the bangles, bells, whistles, full extensions.
yeah, and that was
fucking-
just halfway
the-
back. It wasn't even full cornrow, just part way.
Well, no, it sounds like the locals are abusing the colonists now. I mean,
And that was in 2000.
Oh, if they're gonna extort y'all, then, wow. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, you know, Jose Marino shit. If I speak, but,
No,
like,
I'm
To be
not
honest-
saying they shouldn't get that money. Do
But,
not,
like,
do
yes.
not mistake my
Guys.
sticker shock
Well, to
for
be honest,
me
we extorted
saying
them
they
for-
shouldn't get that money.
Well, to be honest,
Like,
you know, we extorted them for centuries. So, yeah, I don't blame them.
like, I'm not gonna lie here. Every time I hear about, you know, people getting scammed by Jamaican locals, and it'd be on some obvious shit too. Like,
Oh, that's
really.
fucking hilarious.
Like, yeah, I ain't even gonna cap. I'm sorry. Like, y'all.
That's funny shit. If you get
y'all should
taken
know
as a
better.
tourist anywhere, if you get taken, you should learn from that experience. And if you don't, man, may you continue to bless people wherever you go.
No shit.
You know what I mean? Like, dang.
How
That.
would you say?
I
how
mean,
would you
like,
say,
sorry, but at the same time, come on.
how would you say? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. No,
No, other way around, Ted.
other way around. Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Wow, you almost George Bush that all the way up.
That's what I was thinking of.
Hey, it's early in the morning.
You looked at it so bad.
you can't you don't get fooled again. Yeah.
can't fool them.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning here, so sorry that I mistake that.
It's almost
Early.
8.
Mission accomplished.
Or 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's almost 8 o'clock. So yeah, I didn't have much sleep.
And chocolate milk doesn't have caffeine. I don't. Well,
Right.
not that much, anyways. There's a tiny bit in chocolate, but
Gallon. Fucking wow.
Hey guys, to the listeners, I just want to say real quick, please help us to share this because we dropped for 6 minutes. I mean, probably all the alarm bells going off at the Fats and whatever because we have Mad Mom on tonight.
oh, I'm
I said it.
definitely low man on the totem pole here, but I'll take the fall. Fuck it.
Oh shit, we got Mad Mom.
Mad Mom brings
Deal with
all the
it.
3-letter agencies to the yard.
Yep.
Bad.
Ouch.
Well, it clearly triggered them, Bad Bob. I mean, it doesn't happen that
It
often.
did.
We get thrown
It
off.
did.
So.
Do I not have my VPN on? Probably not.
No, I don't think that's what it was. I think it was.
Well,
I think it was definitely that what it was. But someone says, Stars James Peterson says, tape those cameras tonight. Just saying.
We were saying hurtful things
Every
about
night.
him.
Every night.
Every night.
Cameras are
Well,
always.
I mean, you can tape them all you want, but really what you need to do is have an on and off switch on it.
Well, I mean, yeah, you keep
Actually,
them turned off, but you also keep them taped, just in case.
Actually, they see a whole bunch of activists together, and they were like, "Uh-oh," you know.
No, I really believe because it happened right after we were discussing the Haitian assassination.
Mhm.
And
Okay, discuss
we
it again.
were literally putting dots together on air.
We did say CIA a bunch of times too.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like the dots are hard. Once you consider the history
No, they botched
of
the fucking
Haiti
assassination, just like they
and
do all the time.
CIA assassination attempts, you know, the dots are pretty close together.
Well, they
Uh,
botched
Holy
the assassination like they do every time.
Yeah, they're not hard
Glory,
to piece
even
together.
even
Really.
Stevie Wonder could see the dot.
It was hate speech. It was Haiti hate speech.
Haiti hates.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
said YouTube
come
rules.
on.
You said
That's a
it.
good one. That is a good one. I'll give you that, Alma. That was a good one.
Very-
Bowling, yeah, bowling, clear pace. Leave,
Haiti
leave,
hates
leave Haiti
speech.
alone.
Leave Haiti alone.
Leave Haiti alone.
You're just making it worse.
Leave Britney alone. You know?
Now, what is that free Britney shit any fucking ways? Like, what? Who cares? Who cares? Free her from what?
Do you know how pissed I was because I actually had to listen to that shit in a fucking sociology class?
Oh, I'm
It's
so
like-
sorry, Glory. I'm so
I'm like,
sorry. You're
yo,
poor baby.
like this really made it into the curriculum, but not fucking, I don't know, Julian Assange, Anonymous, any of that shit. Nope. Nope, nothing about hacktivism, okay. Nothing about imperialism, okay. But free
What is-
Britney, sure.
I would be skipping class all the time.
Oh, you know what? Ironically enough, I
Don't
once
do that.
skipped the
That's something.
sociology class to go to an actual protest. So
Cool. Just, don't do it so many times you lose, your credits or anything. But yeah, cool. Rock on, Glory. We love you.
thanks.
Anyway,
Mom.
Mark, about the Dutch reporter who was shot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you all heard about that.
What?
Yeah, there was a Dutch reporter. He's a crime reporter, and he was involved in a high-profile case called the Merengue case, which is a lot of assassinations by organized crime.
Yeah, definitely.
Peter R. de Vries, which was the name of the reporter, or is the name of the reporter because he's still alive. He was actually on the side of one of the key witnesses, and a few days ago he was at a live show in the Netherlands, and as the show ended and he left, he got shot by I think how many was it? 3 or 4 people.
Yeah. Yeah, he got 5 bullets and at least 2 bullets hit his head. But
Yeah.
I'm
it's
looking at the Reuters link right now.
yeah, it's everywhere, of course. I mean, Dutch press is like shocked right now, and because they consider it an attack on press freedom. Like, I was never a big fan of Peter R. de Vries, still not, but he did have some good revelations in the past, like the
Well, he did a lot of good things, but my personal opinion is he's an arrogant prick.
Yeah, okay, but that doesn't have to say anything about the quality of his work, of course. I mean,
No, but just my personal opinion, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure, I don't know him, but he comes across like very arrogant, you know.
yeah, but so he did cover, for example, one case that's very important was the Joost Tonino case. That this is one of the head prosecutors in our country put his old computer in the streets when he got a new computer, and his old computer, he was stupid enough to put it in the streets, well, Peter de Vries, he picked his computer up and it was filled with child porn. So this was a head prosecutor in our country who was literally managing like these high-profile court cases, right? He's handling the prosecution, and this was
And of course, Peter R. de Vries was known for the Natalie Holloway case.
Yeah, too. Yeah. And he covered the Heineken abduction, the abduction of Freddie Heineken.
So basically, he stumbled upon the actual organized crime that is doing these kidnappings.
Yeah, well, he was a trust person of one of the key witnesses, and well, this key witness, his brother already got shot. A lawyer, I think, got shot already. All kind of disappearances around him. They're all killed already. All kind of disappearances.
Yeah.
Like
And
everyone
those are
involved
the-
in that case is being shot.
And those are called the Mokro Mafia.
Yeah, the
Like
Moroccan
Moroccan-
mafia people. And
Moroccan Mafia in the Netherlands. And they believe, it's not confirmed yet, but they believe they are behind it.
yeah, well, it's only a few years ago they found like a head cut off. Right, it was like literally a head placed in front of a coffee shop.
No, why would they do that?
Yeah, intimidation, scare tactics, right?
Yeah.
But why in front of a coffee shop? That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's-
saying.
Yeah, that was probably a competitor, right?
Drugs, of course, is a big thing in the Netherlands, right? And everybody is in competition with each other.
Mm.
But yeah, the Mokro Mafia, they are ruthless. They are really ruthless. And the heads of those Mokro Mafia, they are in prison now. And still, I think the same, that they give the order to assassinate Peter R. de Vries, because he is highly involved in this case. And as Peter R. de Vries is known, he's a pit bull. Once he bites into a case, he doesn't let go. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think I heard a
What is
dog
this?
bark at the same time you said that too.
Sorry, that's me. Somebody's driving down my road, so my dog's tripping.
Oh, okay, that was beautiful
My
timing
bad, my
though.
bad.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
like perfect timing. I heard it too.
I
Scripted.
also left like a statement like we shouldn't let organized crime silence the media as well, right?
This is another attack on the media. That is why Reporters Without Borders, who are also very active in the Junior case, immediately jumped on this, right? Because it is an attack on press freedom. Like,
Yep.
if those journalists can't do their work anymore because they're being intimidated and being shot, like literally in public, because this happened in the middle of Amsterdam.
Yep.
I have a really great solution. Okay, you ready? Bring the military in and arrest the pedo politicians and tell them, you tell us who did these killings and we might spare you.
Yeah, but the problem is that the pedo politicians are in control of the military. So, yeah, that's not going to work in our case. Like, if you talk about Joris Demming, for example, he was the former highest guy in the military. He ran the Dutch military before he became Secretary General of the Justice Department.
Isn't that such a weird coincidence that all these people
Yeah,
who
it's
are
like a-
high up in the military also are pedophiles? It's almost like
I have to warn you that being in control of the Dutch military also means you're in control of the NATO cyber army. Just saying, they can hack into your shit in like 1 minute.
Oh yeah, like I said, we have a really big NATO base here in the Netherlands. Actually, not that far from where I live. So, and I think that's the biggest one in Northern Europe.
They hacked into the Russian intelligence services too. Just saying, those were Dutch people who did it.
But what I wanted to say is, yeah, indeed, it was in the middle of Amsterdam where he was shot. It was, I think, one of the side streets of Leidseplein, right, Mark?
Yeah,
well, years ago there was a
So that's center.
There was a female reporter that was looking into the pedophile rings and everything, and she was shot with a sniper from across the way. Why is it that these trafficking gangs seem to be around I can't remember what the fuck I was gonna say now. Fuck. Being around Dutchland. Why? Why are they around? Why are they around the Netherlands? Why?
I can already tell you that we have the largest harbor in Europe, right? So if you talk about like trafficking or either drugs or even humans, it's very likely that it actually enters through here or leaves through here.
Or Rotterdam or Antwerp.
Which is pretty much the same harbor, by the way. They have price agreements, everything. So.
Yep. So those are actually the biggest two in Europe, Rotterdam and Antwerp, and a lot of drugs comes in and out. So yeah, there is a lot of crime involved there.
Yeah, it's literally like this, that when these criminals know that there are raids in Rotterdam or there's heightened security, they know there is lesser security in Antwerp, so they choose that harbor, right? And the other way around, when there is like temporary higher security in Antwerp, they go to Rotterdam. This is all pre-planned, all coordinated.
I dare to bet that they have some of the guards in their pockets.
Well, I know for sure because I know a guy who worked there. He's from my town, and he actually said like, yeah, there's all kind of people coming to me all the time, giving me presents and stuff, and giving me money to have their containers go first and stuff in line. So he works there, and he confirmed this to me. And he didn't he doesn't know anything about all this stuff, right? But he just said that part. So he's just a normal guy.
Or just put the containers first, or just look the other way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to having the two largest harbors, you said in Europe, so then that would be why.
Well, Rotterdam is not. Yeah, that's one of the largest harbors in the world. There's like a top 3 harbor in the world. I mean, only in Beijing are larger. Only in China are larger harbors. So it's really big.
But in Europe, we are the biggest, I think, right?
Definitely, because I know only in China are bigger harbors. So there's nothing.
So then that makes sense. Then why it's such a.
And of course, we
Trade
are.
route. Yeah.
Yeah, well, traffic route. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have open borders, right? So you move something to Germany. There's no checking. There are no customs. That doesn't exist anymore.
And of
So-
course, we are really central, right? For Europe. I mean, from Rotterdam, like you said, we have open borders. We can travel anything to Eastern Europe or Europe or even further, right?
Yeah, well, that makes sense then. Why it's the central point? It seems like it does seem like the Netherlands is the central point for trafficking, and yeah, like that's what I noticed
I don't even
for
want to know
Europe
how many.
wise.
I don't even want to know how many kilos of cocaine gets smuggled in each day. I mean, come on, we all know that it happens.
Cocaine built Miami skyline. I'll just come out and say
Fact.
that beautiful skyline with the American Airlines Arena and the Cuban Embassy that's got all those other buildings in there you see from beautiful Biscayne Bay. Yeah, cocaine. That's
Yeah, cocaine.
Imported by the CIA.
Miami was always known as the cocaine gateway for America, right?
yep.
Oh, I know a police department that's involved in smuggling cocaine from Florida up the East Coast.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
know an agency that is involved in cocaine smuggling. With the three
CIA.
letters.
I think we're all thinking of the same agency there, Ted.
Yeah, you shouldn't rule out, by the way, that here in this country is also the biggest ecstasy production in the world.
Yep.
Just saying
and
that.
And meth nowadays, right?
Yeah, well, in your area especially, there like some rivers are literally poisoned with waste from the ecstasy production. And I mean, just to
Yep.
say, like, I know a bit about the prices of that stuff, but if you can get like ecstasy pills for 30 cents here a piece that go for $10 on the street in the USA, you know where there is profit to be made, right? So
But nowadays they also create a lot of meth here because, as it seems, what I heard, changing an ecstasy laboratorium into a meth lab is not that difficult. And a lot of Mexican gangs coming to the Netherlands making meth here.
I believe that. I just know ecstasy production is
course-
huge here.
And
It's
of
all for
course,
export.
The laws here are a joke. Be honest. I mean, you get what for what sentence for creating drugs? It's joke compared to the rest of the world, right?
That was decriminalized there, so you know.
Yeah, you almost never get any sentences for that kind of stuff. You just have to pay a fine and you have to give your stuff to them. So that's pretty much it.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's a joke, and that's why for foreign criminals, it's like a safe haven here, right?
Look, if you murder someone here, you walk free after 8 years. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
So
The whole justice department here is a joke.
if you rape someone here, you walk free after 1.5 years. That's just the law
What?
here. So yeah, that's just it. And I mean, I studied the law.
mean-
There are no. You have to murder like 10 people to have life in prison here.
They
And
catch
what's
a drug charge
life
3
is-
times in the United States, and they'll give you fucking 25 to life.
Right?
And what is life here? I think 25 years?
Yeah, max, and you get off like 75% on good behavior, right? So you will
Yeah.
deal like 15 years still, and you with a serial killer, you deal with 15 years of prison. So yeah.
That's a joke. That's just a joke. You know?
Yeah, well, armed robbery is pretty much 3 days of cleaning windows, right? So, yeah.
And for example, that guy who was drunk and driving and killed somebody's kid, he got alternative sentences. So just work punishment.
Yeah, cop 2 asked, what if you get busted with a pound of meth there? Yeah, dude, you have to just give the meth to them and you get like a fine of like a few $100. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just how it is.
It's a joke. It's really a joke, and foreign criminals see that, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Netherlands is a haven here. You know, we can do pretty much whatever we want, and we get away with it."
Yeah, I'm not going to advocate for higher sentences,
No,
but
no,
I mean,
But I'm just saying that the criminal system here, the laws should be adjusted for that.
I'm not going to advocate for that unless they arrest first these pedophiles at the top, etc. So
Yeah, of course.
then they can adjust the law. But yeah, I mean, laws. If they only make laws higher for the common people, I'm not a fan of that. That's
No,
that's the fucked up thing. And yeah, and the prison system still like you can watch. Movies and go in do internet stuff in prison, and you can still do your organized crime from prison here in our country. So what's the difference even there? I know you can buy cocaine in the kitchen in the prisons here.
You can level up and be a part of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department and do your organized crime while being the law enforcement.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but that's what they also admit. There's several police people. They're just being paid off. Of course, they're being paid off not even to like allow it, but to give priority to other cases. That's how easy it is.
There are even cops here in the Netherlands who give information to the criminals.
Yeah, that is what. Okay, so this is really bad. But this is like even like with when you talk about the Deming case, right? High-level pedophiles. There were investigations into them. Like you had the Rolodex investigation, which was done by very experienced police teams. They literally put tabs on Deming and on these high-level pedophiles, right? And at some point they just started receiving only noise, right, taps were cut off, and they wanted to know what was going on. They did raids actually. One of the police chiefs actually visited them, and they actually went to these houses, and everything was cleaned up, right? And they actually had a talk with them. They were met there, and they said like, yeah, you guys can stop your investigation because we are the people who make the laws for you. And they were literally warned not to continue with it, right? So the Rolex investigation all stopped, and it took
I
a year.
would have shot that guy.
They make the laws. That's the thing. They make the laws, and not just the laws here. They can make the laws in your country too if they want to. Trust me on that. They will. They will.
I would have. If I was one of those investigators, I would have been like, "Oh yeah, you think you're making the laws now, motherfucker?" Yeah.
They have complete control over. Look. These are NATO countries. They have such a connection to each other that they can have you arrested in the United States if they want to. They will. They can have you extradited from the United States into here, and you will meet them personally, and they will put a bullet into your neck. That's how they work, these people. So they wait.
I would do it before they do it. That's what I'm saying.
You need
Like
an
the saying
organized
goes, like the-
resistance.
Like the saying goes,
Okay, the
right?
Merc.
The laws are for everybody, but except for those who make them.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, these are some really sick people. Like, yeah, I mean, they tried it here. We were all. Myself was also involved with that back then, and we gave a lot of attention to this stuff, seriously, and they would put a lot of heat. We even had RT people in our country covering this, so a lot of attention was given to it, but it just didn't end. It was just not enough. Russia.
Russian state television.
Yeah, they were even here covering the Deming case. Yeah. So, yeah, attention enough was given to it, but it was not enough. They laugh about these people. They're like, what the hell is RT going to do here? Like, I mean, so this okay. It was the AD, which is a huge newspaper here.
Yeah.
They were sued, but they wrote an article, a huge piece about Joris Demming and the whole pedophile shit. And then they were sued, right, by him, and they were happy with that because they had like finally a civil lawsuit, a civil case going on. And then it got like, this is a few years ago, by the way. This is like 15 years after writing about this guy, right? From 1995 already these stories are going on. And finally there was like a lawsuit, a lot of attention given to it. RT was visiting at the lawsuit. They were there every time, and they were standing there in front of the courthouse interviewing and shit. All kind of other media were there, and it just doesn't end. It doesn't end. Like, you can't stop these people.
Then you see how bad it is that they even intimidate press, right? If they write the truth, they got intimidated. They got lawsuits. They got,
People die. People
Yeah.
People writing about this die, right? They move to Thailand to be safe from these people. They still get murdered. Right, there is no escaping from these people. Like, they end up in weird accidents. Even in the Dutroux case, which is connected to this network, 33 our witnesses died in mysterious ways. Like, what can you do about these kind of things then at that point? Only thing I know is they're scared for attention. Whenever you give attention to them, public attention, they do hide and stuff. They don't like it.
And they go into the highest of high levels of society, right? Those weirdos, as I can call them.
Yeah, well, we mentioned the Minerva thing at the start, right? Which is kind of like the Dutch skull and bones thing. Well, you have the Demming case, for example. He was a Minerva student. He was a member of Minerva. One of his best friends is a guy called Ivo Opstelten. He was the Minister of Justice, right? So you have the Minister and you have the highest Secretary General of Justice being friends, both part of this weird little club.
Cult. Yeah, cult. Because that's what you can call it, right? A cult.
Yeah. Yeah, and goes into like UK, Belgium, France. So.
And
doesn't
even
know.
into the when I hear the royal families
Royal families are
in
also.
the past, I'm not saying in the present, but in the past, the royal families even were involved in this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
look at
yeah.
the English royal family. That what was it named? Andrew. He was also linked to the Epstein case, right?
Yeah, and Prince Charles was a friend of Jimmy Savile, which is also a pedophile. And he's like, there was like 260 kids actually said he abused them and stuff.
Yep.
So it goes up to the highest levels, right? And that's why they are scared to get people talk about it, so they will not get exposed. So yeah, people die for exposing them.
Yeah, and also people like a minister of justice or like a secretary general, they have access to all the criminal files of people, right? And now,
Yep.
even if you're not a criminal and you never did anything wrong, some family member of you probably has, right? So they can put pressure on every single person. There's always a way to put pressure on someone. Like we can dig up this case again, right? Maybe you've been to the police once and they said like, oh, we're going to close this case. We don't have enough evidence. Maybe they will tell you like, we can like reopen this case again. We found some new evidence, right? So they can always do things. They can
Or
dig. They dig into your
plan
friends, your old classmates and stuff, right? They can do everything.
right? Or they plan something on you. You know, they
Yeah.
just pin you with something that they make up.
Or
Like-
now they can just frame you for a crime you didn't commit because they got gloves that can admit your fingerprint oils and all your biometrics and all kinds of crazy crap. And we know about that, so just imagine what they've got that we don't know about.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Julian. He was charged with all kinds of stuff, right? Which eventually was not true, of course. But you see, they can pin anything on you.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't just rig this. They don't rig the system. They are the system, and they can pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah, and they put these autistic politicians in power who don't even know how society works. They have absolutely no connection with normal society. They do just the bidding of these people. These politicians are completely autistic. I'm not saying it as an insult or whatever. They just don't feel anything. With when
Careful, because I've been called autistic.
yeah, but I mean they have no.
I called an autistic gang member earlier. One of my best friends. So.
No, you have to just look at it from their perspective. Like when people are really emotional and they lose whatever because they lose their kids or something over this. These politicians, they will look at you with the same straight face. They don't feel anything.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No. Yeah, no, they don't. I mean, I had a judge that told me while I was filming him live anonymously on Facebook that it was water under the bridge that they kidnapped my kid by state statute, federal law, and civil rights. So.
Yeah, I can't even say that. They just don't feel anything. That's the problem. Like you
They
would.
don't care, and you know that if you don't have an ass ton of money, that it's not ever gonna matter. And even if you waste like $250,000, like I did, like I'm still without my youngest baby, who's still fucking kidnapped.
Thing is, they are supposed to represent the people, but they have no connection to the people at all, right?
They represent some people, but it's not us.
Nope. Not the general mass of the people, just the 1%.
Yeah.
Just their rich friends, they represent. For example, when a prime minister dares to say there is no poverty in the Netherlands, I was like, in what world do you live? Right?
Yeah, because they use this.
That's the problem. There's a disconnect between the elected leaders and the poor and middle class. I mean, it's very obvious. I mean, they grow up and they don't have to deal with the poverty and everything, and it's just a disconnect, and they'll never understand because they were never in that position in their life. They were either born into their position, or they were fortunate enough
They were-
to not to be able to get a job and everything and not have to go through.
Yeah, but they
Well,
can prove what they're saying using an administrative trick, right? Because they use this bureau of calculations, and they use an average, right? Society's average, like what does a person have on average in our country? But it's based on like a small group of super wealthy people that pretty much pull up the average, right?
Exactly.
So
They never asked me something, you know. They never.
Well, those
asked me
statistics are always flawed because they always what they do is they ask like 20 people or fucking 50 people, whatever the metric is, for the study. I mean, they use all types of numbers for the studies. I mean, sometimes it's fucking 28 people, and you ask why didn't they use 30 instead of 28? But anyway, like it's stuff like that. But they use like a flawed metric of people, so then they go, okay, well, all of these people said they weren't poor, so then therefore it means that the statistics are that most of the country's not poor. That's not how you would do an actual real study.
No, because they don't ask the poor people. They just ask the rich people.
yeah, but it's very easy. Like if we only have 17 million people in our country, right? There's maybe maybe a little more than 10 million people actively working, right? So then have you one family like the family that founded like CNA, Brenningmeier family, owns like 30 billion. You have to imagine that is the same as giving a 1 million people $30,000.
I need
Right.
to correct you there. You know, 17 million on paper, but who knows how many are illegally here? So maybe a little bit more than 17 million.
Yeah, our working people, registered working people, maybe 10 million, right? But I mean, like one family that owns 30 billion pulls up 1 million people with 30,000. So
then why don't they actually do a real study and send out a consensus to everyone at their home and say how much are you making, and then count up those results?
yeah, they have all the numbers, but they use it only like when they have to like justify their own little story. They will use the numbers that fit their little story, right? So they make averages.
Exactly.
They have the real numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
They rig everything. They rig everything. You know.
Yeah, because you guys have like UBI and stuff over there, so like you could either like do that and live okay, or like be super rich, or if you're working class, you're like struggling like fuck to survive, pretty much, right?
I mean, every working person pays taxes, so they know exactly what we make.
Yeah.
They know
Good point.
exactly. You know, we have a website here from the government. You can look up everything about yourself, right? And it's actually scary to see what they know about you.
Mm.
They know everything.
Does it say Ted's porn history?
No, but seriously, from medical bills to what you make a year, what taxes you pay, everything. They know everything about you.
Yeah.
Why
It
is that listed on a fucking public domain website that could get hacked?
No. You have to log in with your social security number and everything, so it's secured. But it's just
Oh,
how much they know about you.
secure and secure are two
Yeah,
different
yeah.
words.
Well, there we go into that whole network again, right?
Right. Security doesn't exist in the age of the internet. There's only OPSEC.
Yeah, and
The point was that it's scary to know how much they know about you.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
So, and these people in power, actual people in power, and these criminal networks, they have access to that, and they
Yep.
don't need your little social security number. They can just pay off some lady working behind the desk, right? So, that easy.
Yep.
Real quick, Anna Mares in the Rockfin chat said, I live in Des Moines, a few miles from Camp Dodge, and was spotlighted tonight by a military helicopter, probably for walking in a public cemetery when it's dark. I couldn't help but feel the police state all over me, like a rapist just took all the joy out of me.
It's interesting. Well,
It is,
What-
but
I'm about to like pass out, guys. So I gotta get off.
Well,
of
he
it.
was
Aw.
right about that. We do live in a police state.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's an ever growing police state. Because I mean, like, I don't know. Did you guys see the real quick before I leave? Did you see the news of what Ring and Amazon Echo have done now? Because this goes into the police state stuff.
No, but give us the disgusting update, please.
Oh, they've now required anyone who owns a Echo or a Ring device to provide. It's called Amazon Sidewalk, and
I have heard a bit about that.
and what they're doing now is they're providing everyone Wi-Fi by using the person who owns the device's Wi-Fi, and you can't opt out of it. Like, what the fuck? You're giving away my Wi-Fi for free? Now, on top of that, well, what Amazon wants to do is create essentially a mesh network of Wi-Fi networks that are all connected together.
They actually have that in the Netherlands as well. The internet provider Ziggo is doing that. It's called Ziggo Hotspot.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can activate it, and so anybody can can use your hotspot.
Yeah, well, this is automatic. You can't opt out of this, so you can walk past your neighbor's house and get their Wi-Fi. But what Amazon isn't thinking about in this is that, at least I'm not sure because I haven't looked at the technical details, but they could be opening people to all sorts of fucking attacks.
Yeah, it's a huge security risk, right?
I would think so, unless they're doing something like that I don't know of in the technical background that I haven't seen, where they are kind of providing, I guess it would be a bridge router in the technical term of sense, where basically they would take the regular connection and then bridge it, but the connection that they give to other people is not the router connection, but it's its own hardware. That's a possibility, I guess, but I don't know how they would prevent, say, a hacker from sitting outside your neighbor's house and using their network or connecting to their network and then being able to access all of the devices on the network. I mean, like, I don't understand the technology behind it fully, so I'd have to look into it more. But it kind of seems to me like it would be a very high security risk, and not only that, but
also like security cams and everything connected to that network.
Yeah,
that's creepy. So people outside the house can watch what I'm doing in the house.
Well, that would be only if they didn't isolate it in some sense of way. I mean, with technology, I mean, there's probably a way to hack it anyway. I mean, just give enough time to be able to find an exploit to be able to make it do whatever you want it to do. But
of course, because everything that broadcasts can be intercepted.
Yeah, to a certain degree. I mean, unless if it's an IP cam, yes. If it's not an IP cam, then no. Because we tried. Don't know if I should. We tried to access certain cameras inside a prison, and we could not get access to those cameras because they weren't IP cameras.
No, it's a closed circuit, right?
Closed circuit, yeah, right. It's a closed circuit system with. It's not an IP cam. An IP cam is basically a webcam that has an IP address, and you can connect to that camera. But those IP cams, they're used a lot on the street for like various different citywide cameras and stuff. So they use those out in the street because there's no other way that they could route those back to a.
It's funny that you say that, because as I said with the Pit out of this case, right? The reporter who got shot, they got the people who did it, and one of the ways how they got it is they have cameras all over Amsterdam.
Right.
Those license plate reading cameras, right?
Those are IP cams. Yeah. Right. They use those. They use those so they can access them from a command and control center, but also they can be accessed by anybody if you have the IP. If you have the IP, you can access them all. And there's a website that I am not going to give, but there's a website where you can view all of the world's IP cams, and you can literally click on each country and state and county and all that jazz, city, and you can go through each camera all around the cities.
But no, that's actually, on one side I said, okay, great that they got the criminals, but on the other side, scary that Big Brother is always watching us.
Yeah, that's true.
It is scary.
Yeah. Well, it's not facial recognition yet here and in the Europe. It is in China. In China, they have these facial recognition cameras that are so advanced, even if you have a hood up or a mask on or anything, they can identify you.
Yeah, by your eyes, yeah.
That's creepy, right?
By your eyes, right.
Bringing when this whole pandemic stop freaking wearing the mask for more reasons than just one, but how about because you're just making the facial recognition software smarter? So, I think I read something the other day that they said it was only 96% effective here in the US, so they had to, up the technology. That's not good enough.
So the software is already able to do a kind of a retinal scan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
China perfected it. Yes.
And we'll be close behind because they've been doing retina scans for like jail bookings and stuff and like probation and parole for at least like 3 or 4 years, or at least that's how long they've been doing it in my state. So so you're
and in China is that worse if you
when I was booked when I was booked a few years ago, well, it wasn't a few now, it's like 2013 when I was booked, they had me go through a retina scan. I thought it was the weirdest shit, but they had me go through a retina scan. They had me do the fingerprint roll. They had done a handprint. Yeah, so they did the retina scan and everything, and that was in 2013. So it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, I did that once when I was arrested by the police. The whole fingerprint thing.
Hey, but it's very easy. It's very easy. Any picture, any form of image, you can always release mathematics on it. Always. Yep. You can translate any image into zeros and ones, and so anything has a unique pattern. So whether it's your retina or something else, like your fingerprints or something, these are unique patterns, and they can, using a digital interpreters, you can make it very it's always unique, so you can always do it.
That's why maybe it's a good idea to people from Anonymous, wearing the mask, put some cloth in front of the eye holes which you can see through, but from the outside not see the eyes. Right?
That's gonna be a hella uncomfortable. No cap.
No, but you know what I mean. You have this.
Yeah.
You gotta sacrifice your comfort if you want privacy.
Yeah. But I mean, once they yank you into the back of a sheriff's car and take your picture with your mobile phone, you stop caring about that shit.
But that was just an idea, so your eyes are not visible, so they can do any retinal scan kind of software to identify you.
Well, Ted, it's not like you're going to go to the police department and have your Guy Fawkes mask on with your fucking rigged You bring cloth above your eyes. You rip that shit off of you and say, "You scan your retina now."
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in jail, I mean, I literally got threatened by the fucking what do you call it, warden? Like he literally threatened me and said, "Sign over the $50 in your wallet to the jail, or you're gonna have an accident in the brig." And when he said that shit, and I'm like handcuffed and shit, I'm like, "What the fuck you mean an accident?" I'm like, "You want to speak up? You want to say that a little bit more?" And like I was getting smart with him. I'm like, "You know, I don't give a fuck about the $50, but you're a corrupt fuck."
Yep. Like I said.
And he was fat, so I was like, "I hope you have a fucking heart attack, you fat fuck."
I did the
Oh,
whole,
great, AK.
I did the whole fingerprint thing as well when I was arrested in my younger years. Not gonna go into that. Why? But yeah, to their annoyance, I had to do the fingerprints like 6 or 7 times because I always, set it up that it fails. So you have this finger, and then you have to go with your whole hand over a roll.
Yeah. Let me roll it. Don't roll it for me. I'll do it, they always say.
Yeah, and then you have to roll your fucking thumb and roll your fucking other fingers, and oh, that didn't take, do it again. You know, like
Why do they gotta do it every fucking time you get arrested? Like, how many times do you need my fingerprints? I'm already in the system.
But actually, I was doing it on purpose just to annoy them. And at one point, they did it again, and I actually put 3 times the same finger on the paper,
Oh my god.
They were so annoyed of me, I was like, thumb, index finger, pinky, funny. Just to annoy them,
Oh my god, Ted.
That was just to annoy them. My way of saying fuck you to them,
Yeah, well, that was my way of saying it, with calling the guy a fat fuck, and saying basically that you're a corrupt piece of shit. And his response was, "The jail's closing down soon. What are you gonna do about it?" It was like, okay, well, I see why you're doing this then, you corrupt fuck.
Well, I think corruption is everywhere.
Yeah, but if he would have I'll tell you, if he would have put me in that fucking brig, and he would have tried to, like, beat me up, I would have fucking pulled the Mike Tyson on that motherfucker. I would have bit his ear off.
Oh my god, AK.
Oh, savage.
I'm sure that would have gone over real well for you, AK.
Oh, no, I would have gotten beaten to death, but I would have fucking made sure that I would have bit his ear off, or fucking... I would have bit him, I would have fucking ripped his fucking skin off his face. I mean, like, I don't fucking know. I would have bit him, though, that's all I gotta say.
Oh my god. Okay, Luis Suarez.
He would go Hannibal Lecter on him.
Oh, that's exactly it. I would go full fucking Hannibal Lecter on him. Fucking.
I'm trying to picture it. Okay, seriously, I'm trying to picture it.
He tried to beat. He tells me I'm gonna have an accident in the brig. Well, what the fuck does accident mean? I was like, what does that mean? Like, you gonna fucking beat me up, or you gonna kill me? Like, what does that mean?
You gotta eat his liver, smarter than onions.
I will serve parts of your body on top of risotto.
I mean, here's the thing. I still got fucking feet. I still got my mouth. And I got my head. And I can use that. I can use those 3 things to beat you the fuck up. I don't need my hands.
You raise a fair point.
There's so many ways to do harm with people without hands.
If you have a hard head, you can headbutt.
I would have fucking... That's what I would have done. I would have... First, I would have fucking headbutt him. Then I would have used my knee, kicked him in the face, and then I would have ripped his ear off with my mouth.
Savage.
Trying to picture AK do, like, a flying drop kick with handcuffs on.
You would go Bruce Lee on that guy.
Oh, I would have fucking... I would have... Yeah, I just would have... I just would have defended myself against that motherfucker if he put me in a brig tried to beat me up or fucking kill me, you better use a fucking weapon, because I'm using my teeth and my feet as a weapon. And I took karate too, so you're getting kicked in the nuts.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be. There would be music playing too while I'd beat the fuck up. Oh, the other fucking cop would come in and be like, "What the fuck happened here?" And I'd be like, "Your corrupt warden here tried to kill me." So I
You hear everybody else behind bars just like, World Star!
No, because it'd be in a fucking dark room in a brig. You know what's fucked up though? Like they were doing this when I was there too. I didn't even know they do this to prisoners, but they put them. It's called a turtle suit. And
you know about the turtle suit?
No, I fucking never heard about the turtle suit until fucking when I was there. But it's the most fucked up thing, because they put you in your fucking underwear, and then they strap you with like this backpack, and it's shaped like a turtle, and they put you on your back where you can't get up. And
What the fuck?
yeah, and they handcuff you and everything. Yeah, it's like fucking torture. It's basically torture.
That is torture. It's like a green padded, like, suit or whatever. And then they also have the chairs. They have chairs too that they do.
And still he would kick his ass, you know?
They say they do.
Oh no! If they tried to put me in a turtle suit, I would fight them tooth and nail. They would have to fucking tase me.
He would fight them Ninja Turtle style.
I don't know, fucking Ninja Turtle style, but yeah, that turtle suit's no joke, because it has like weight in it, so it weighs you down and puts you in a fucking awkward position where you're just in fucking pain the whole time laying there, and you only get like one bathroom break and one time to get a drink or something to eat. I mean, like it's insane. It's truly insane that still goes on in our yeah, it is torture, and it's insane that it still goes on in our prison system.
Not to jump too far afield from where we are, but I do have some updates on the thing in Haiti.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from the Twitter account, Madame Buchmann.
Yes.
And thank you, Jones, by the way. Incredibly informative. So let me just share with the whole class what's going on here. More scenes added to the movie, more mercenaries caught in Haiti. It's confirmed that there were already mercenaries in the country brought in by Moise. This explains why there was no exit plan if they're truly the ones who carried out the assassinations. So they said there were at least 8 on the run in that initial article, right? We've got 6 here. They look like they may have been resisting. If you're familiar with how the U.S. police work. Group of citizens. They got people out there with cell phones dragging these motherfuckers out of ditches. Like, just regular people. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's hey, that's
Oh.
how Caribbeans do it.
Oh, I'm gonna go to this article.
CIA director arrives in Colombia to lead sensitive security mission. You know what that security mission was? Ain't a security mission, more like assassination mission.
Yep.
So let me hop over to this.
That's what I'm gonna say now. Instead of saying it's on site, would someone just say, "Yeah, I gotta go on a security mission"?
The highest official of the United States Central Intelligence Agency, William Burns, arrived in Colombia to participate in a delicate mission in terms of security as part of the cooperation between the two countries. Colombian ambassador arrived in Washington or in Washington.
Let me just say before I leave. Let me just say William Burns. I mean, that just reminds me of the Simpsons guy, Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Well, this is more along the lines of release the hounds.
All right, I'm leaving. Later, guys. Have a good
Have
night.
a good night.
Take care, okay?
He's the hounds. Yeah.
Francisco Santos reported on the arrival of the CIA director. However, Santos did not want to participate in additional details about Burns' visit to Bogota. Comes after Biden's first telephone conference. Colombian counterpart Ivan Duque. Fucking.
Wouldn't it be funny if he had an assistant called Smithers?
Right? It would. It really would. I hope he does. Just because we live in a fucking cartoon, I hope he does. Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
I mean, the Simpsons made some predictions that came true.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. No, they've made a lot of predictions. It's frightening. Really.
It is creepy. It is scary.
How many?
How accurate were you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even about Donald Trump becoming president, they made those predictions and that came true. Even to the escalator scene, right?
Yeah.
That's scary.
Maybe the writer of The Simpsons is the real Q.
Oh God.
I couldn't help it.
Okay, I'm looking for a recent one. And there is a recent video put out 3 months ago. 15 predictions that may come true in 2021. Do you guys want to watch it? I feel like we should watch it.
Sounds interesting.
See if we're halfway through, so we might even be there. I don't know. I have no idea what we're about to see. There is an ultimate Simpsons prediction compilation too, but it's a half hour long. I don't think we should roll it at this precise moment. This is merely 8 minutes. We're gonna have to pick and we're definitely gonna have to stop it and start it again. But let me pull it up here.
Okay, so I have one question. Are these predictions, or are these people in power just really big fans of The Simpsons?
Yeah, is this you're right? Or is it predictive programming?
So there's 3 options.
Not just characters, in regards to being able to make predictions that are mind-boggling in their accuracy.
Even Homer Simpson rode the escalator behind Trump, whose hair...
And already in 2021, a prediction has already come true in the form of Kamala Harris's outfit when she was sworn in as the Vice President of the United States.
As you know, we've inherited quite a bit from President Trump.
Oh, jeez.
Bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
We're broke.
The country is broke? How can that be?
So with that shockingly accurate event coming to pass, you have to wonder what else might get proven to be called by The Simpsons.
Now, in conclusion, my administration will focus on the 3 R's. Reading, writing, and refilling the ocean. Thank you very much.
I'm going to break it down for you, but before I do that, go ahead and do me a favor, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, let's get started. Do you want to win an iPhone 12, maybe a MacBook Pro? How about $500 cash? All you have to do is comment this giveaways. Winner will be announced at the last day of each month. Thanks for watching and good luck. Number 4, the rise of hover cars.
I want a place in this car to put my drink.
Sure, the car has a beverage holder.
Hello, Einstein. I said a place to put my drink. You know those super slakers they sell in...
This one at first may seem a little trivial in the grand scale of events, but it's something that could be very cool should it be done this year. This prediction came in 2005 when in a Future Vision episode, Homer Simpson was found to have blown a lot of money on a hover car, and it seemed to have worked just fine.
Extremely large beverage holder.
I'm not done yet. You know that little ball you put on the aerial so you can find your car in the parking lot? That should be on every car.
Little ball.
Now, technically, hover cars are available out there, just not for mass consumption. The military and various private sector companies have been trying for decades to not just make things like hover cars and jetpacks, but also to go and make them feasible and affordable to use.
That's a very thorough discussion on the hover car industry right there.
Sounds
Very
like
thorough.
DARPA.
See, all I'm
Sounds like
saying,
some
yeah, is
DARPA
Simpsons.
stuff.
Simpsons that has 8 letters. What's 8? What does 8 equal? 1 plus 7. What's the 17th letter of the alphabet? Q.
Are off the
Uh-oh.
grid, and so far it's going great. Yay! Gentlemen, tonight's game is
This one is technically already happening on certain scales, especially in the United States. Because whether certain people in the government want to admit it or not, the world needs to start changing its ways and going from just using up oil all the time to going and using things like solar power.
the wind.
Yeah, blow me some spark.
Okay, now we got the next step in virtual reality.
Number 2, the next step in VR. One very interesting Simpsons episode had the town of Springfield overrun by VR headsets.
Oh, thank you, Queen Sonia. And
I can see the rollout of this when they
Higgs
roll out
Boson
the next
Observatory.
lockdown.
See that?
By that, we mean that the people of the town were so engaged with what the VR headsets were showing them that they didn't take them off. And in one scene, Marge and Homer are actually eating via special tubes connected to those VR headsets.
Provide you with a complete virtual reality experience, letting you live in a world of your dreams.
This is our future here in 2021? It just might be. The cruise line known as Royal Caribbean is toying with the idea of having guests take a VR dining experience. To be clear, the food will be real and projected as such through the goggles. But when you eat the food, the headset will take you to a new location to heighten the experience. Rise of the
Okay.
Machines.
So, Bart the Little Dickens is going through that phase where young boys think their dad's an idiot.
Sounds like you were having family difficulties.
That's exactly.
The idea of AI technology controlling robots in such a way that they go and take over the world is too rich a topic to not have on a show like The Simpsons. And yeah, they've had 2 different episodes where robots have gone nuts in various ways, including overtaking a theme park and using various gadgets in a smart house to try and...
Okay, so what do you think? 2021 Rise of the Machines?
Well, not 2021 yet, but because technology is not there yet. But AI is a thing that will happen.
I think it's the rise of the have machine, right? Like you got like chips, like the Elon Musk chip, will probably be released soon for the public. I think it will be still 2021. So, that thing you can build in your brain that cures like Alzheimer's and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, AI is not there yet where this could happen, but maybe eventually it will come. But AI is still in its kid's shoes, right?
Well, they were talking about mapping kids' brains now, so they're saying to speed things up a bit. Yeah, they want to speed up AI a bit, so they want to map kids' brains to create like a real AI.
That's scary stuff.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
No, but you know, when it comes to AI and appliance to military, you know, for me that's a no-go. That's dangerous.
Yeah, because an AI doesn't have the feelings people have, or hope they have.
Exactly. So it's limited to the parameters that we people set, and the question is, who is setting the parameters, right?
Well, it's not anybody with soul left, so it's probably not going to end up good.
Exactly.
But it's okay. And Bezos is stepping down as, you know, the EO of Amazon, so I'm sure his predecessor will be a much better individual.
Oh, there was a petition going on. If he leaves Earth, not to let him come back on Earth. Actually, good
Or the
idea.
Mars, I forgot.
Just leave him on Mars. You know, the world is better off without him.
Cop2 asks if a VR can give you a heart attack. I think it can. Because stress.
Yeah, because it can trigger emotional stress, right?
Yeah, stress and shock effect in like virtual is the same as in reality. So.
Exactly. And that stress can cause a heart attack.
Although like normal people don't usually get heart attacks. There needs to be a little bit wrong with you.
But if you are under extreme stress, it can happen.
Yeah.
And VR can trigger that stress. I mean, you all saw the videos with the grandma putting on VR goggles in a roller coaster, and her reaction to it, right? I'm not sure if you saw that video. It causes stress.
I mean, I didn't see the video, but my son had one for a little bit just because he wanted to check it out. And I was like, all right, whatever. We'll see what it's about. And those things, I could see why they could be a little bit freaking stressful because they're pretty realistic. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it either. We got rid of it.
Yeah, and imagine if you.
Well, he bought the Oculus too, and I was like, I told you that shit came from Facebook. We're getting rid of it.
Imagine you are not used to it, you know, and watch something like a horror program, right? Where you see monsters chasing you. It can cause stress, right? And that stress can cause, if the stress levels get high enough, it can cause heart attacks, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not directly, but indirectly.
In correlation.
It can cause heart attacks, especially if you already are sensitive for stress. Yeah, then especially
under a lot of stress, you know.
You can get
extreme lockdown measures and stuff.
You also get hooked to these games, right? That you forget to drink and stuff, or you actually think you are that person in that game or something, right?
Yeah, that happens too.
Yeah.
Or that's already the case with the thing before the VR. I mean,
No, that is a Japanese girl. It was a Japanese girl who played World of Warcraft and she didn't drink for like 48 hours and she just died.
What?
Yeah.
World of Warcraft and, for example, Second Life and OS Grid, those are highly addictive. And I mean, I speak from experience because I've been in Second Life for years, you know. And yeah, it is addictive because I've been you know, playing around in there for a while, and before I knew it, it was already morning. I was like, shit, I didn't sleep, you know. It's that addictive.
Yeah, I had that too when I was gaming. When I was very young back then, like 11 or 12 years old. I was gaming a lot, and I had a similar thing too. Yeah. You just play like all night and stuff, and then you forget about the time, and yeah.
Yeah. And so you don't sleep, you don't eat properly, you don't drink properly. It is addictive.
Yeah. Yeah, back then I was very young, and then you can handle far more, of course. But if you're like older or whatever, that can be very damaging to your body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the youngest anymore, and I started to notice that bad habit that I had when I was still in the how do I put it the right way? Other side of activism, you know. Yeah, I was like up for 72 hours and stuff like that, you know, and didn't eat much. I smoked like crazy, and you know, and yeah, now I start to notice it, you know.
Oh yeah, you can totally feel the effects of that. Like as you get older, like I definitely can't go as hard as I used to go for sure.
Oh, I had no problem either. I had no problem either without sleep. Now it's different. I still don't sleep very well though, but
I don't sleep well either, but I gotta get at least like 3 or 4 hours, or I'm not gonna be a very nice or productive person the following day for sure.
Actually, I can't pull it off anymore. That staying awake for 72 hours, I can't do it anymore.
Oh, there's no way I could stay awake for 72 hours. Yeah.
I
Even
mean, you hit a wall
even
eventually.
loving boost, there's no way I could do it. I don't even think I would try.
But the thing is, after those 72 hours, you crash and you crash
Yeah,
hard.
that's the thing.
You really crash hard. I was sleeping like comatose, you know. I could
Oh,
be a
yeah,
bomb in front
no.
of my house, you know, and I wouldn't wake up.
After, when was it? I think it was our protest on the 11th. I think after that, I was so tired that, like, I literally slept through karaoke in the next room. So it's like, like, when you hit a wall, you hit a wall.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Actually, back in those days when I was awake a lot and didn't sleep much, there was like here in the south an earthquake, literally like an earthquake, and my parents was like, "Oh, didn't you feel the earthquake?" I'm like, "What earthquake?" You know, because I was sleeping that solid like a rock that I didn't even feel the earthquake. You know. There was one
I've
of the
slept
crash-
through tiny ones in LA already. It's like, I wake up and people would people would be like, "Oh man, do you hear there was an earthquake?" I was like, "No, I slept through it. What the hell? I've only been going to school in LA for how many years now? I'm already sleeping through damn earthquakes like they're hurricanes. Sheesh."
Like either of those things are good things to probably sleep through, Glory.
Hey, no, hurricanes are okay. So, because
Like
like you got the
rainstorms,
shutters,
accordion,
you got
you
the
know.
shutters up, which like make everything in the house dark, because like the shutters are blocking out all the light, unless you get like the new thing, which is the high impact glass, which is like it's I mean, it would be cool honestly, but like we don't have it, so we just do shutters, and then so your whole house is dark, and then it's like a lot of wind and a lot of rain, so it'll be like a storm, and you know, during storms, you want to fall asleep. So,
yeah.
It's like dead air. There's like a lot of people talking in the
I had
chat.
Yeah, sorry, I had to mute myself because I was on the toilet, and
Yeah, I was muted too.
I don't really find it necessary to let the audience listen to me going to the toilet.
You run a very tight ship here over on Anonymous Spice Bag.
Yeah. So the toilet probably beats the dead air.
I can hear Sleepy in the background. Dead air.
Yeah.
Sleepy.
Right, Mark? Right, Mark? Falling asleep and doing the show.
Everyone on the show fell asleep at least once, I can tell you that.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I fell asleep once and woke back up and it was still going on. Like,
Me too.
More than
I only
once.
nodded off for like 20 minutes though the first time I fell asleep. Cause I just remember like I faded out, and then I wake up and like Steve was texting the Element like, "Jones, you still here?" I'm like, "Oh shit, we're still going."
First time I ever fell asleep on the air, we'd been at it for like probably 3 or 4 days. So I slept for like a good 6 or 7 hours, like got up, did my morning thing, and then got back online. And I'm like, you guys are still on here? Like, I think it was like a 17-hour show or something.
Yeah, we did a 17-hour shows before, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
The-
If you got, let's see, if you got AK, and then you got Ted and Divine together, Terrence, Commander X.
Oh, you can easily cover. You can cover like 72 hours of that staying awake easily.
But Commander X could do like a day by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I experienced that because I was on Always Grid with him a lot, you know, and once he starts stalking, it's really hard to shut him up.
Yeah, but you can just walk away because you won't even notice. You just return.
Right? Right.
But that's not, I don't mean that in a negative way, but, you know, yeah, he can talk, and he can talk a lot.
Oh no, it's lovely.
No, nobody's taking that in the negative.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't mean it in a negative way because
That's what I. Yeah, no.
No, it's
Because,
like, we all experience the same thing.
Actually, I enjoyed it because, you know, he's in the activism business longer than me, way longer than me. I think he was even an activist before I was born. But yeah, I want to learn from him, you know, and that's why I enjoyed listening to him talking on OS Grid about stuff, you know.
Well, and he obviously also he just wants to get all this information and stuff out. He wants someone to that who listens to him. So, and only now are we realizing how important it actually was, right?
And of course, thanks to X, you know, I'm part of local leagues now as well. I mean, Al took it over from X. I mean, it's not a secret that local leagues was funded by X. He's not running it anymore, but yeah, he is actually the creator of local leagues. So yeah, I see him more as a mentor, you know. He is actually a good advocate for activism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was muted. Sorry. I had to get unmuted there. Yeah, definitely is.
I mean, that's what my thoughts were when we were giving him what we thought was the last interview on Slow News Day.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked whenever I see him come on, but I mean, I was good to like see him, like, you know, his health and stuff looking better, and he sounded better, and then I was,
it was
way
so
more shocked when he
awesome for him to
started
come
like,
back.
to go back on the air and stuff. You know, I was kind of shocked by that a little, but
well, it's not a secret that there was a time that he was suddenly silent. You know, on Twitter and on any social media, he was silent. And actually, I was talking with Divine a lot about it. That we were worried about him, if he's doing okay. You know.
Right, yeah, because he had been gone and hadn't really reached out to anybody, and yeah.
Well, at some point he did his final interview on Slow News Day, I think that was.
Yeah, it was like about a year ago.
That shit was
about a
fucking
year.
emotional.
Yeah.
But we were actually worried about him because, you know, it's not him to be so silent.
Right.
Yeah.
For so long.
Well, it was fucking emotional because we actually believed that it was his final interview, right?
Yeah, no.
But of course it wasn't.
He believed it too. He actually like started talking about, you know, his own mortality and his death and stuff, and it was hard.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, and that's the other thing. Like, he's still sick too, you know. So, like, I'm sure as long as he's in prison, that his health will start to deteriorate again for obvious reasons.
Well, from the voice thing that I heard that Mark sent me, he's saying that he's okay. So let's hope that it stays like that, right?
Yeah.
It better.
And
I
of
mean,
course,
they don't have anything really, you know what I'm saying, other than his digital sit-in, you know. So what's that?
And of course, I can
and fraud
imagine
act charge? Isn't that what that falls under?
and of course, I can imagine that he also misses his dogs.
Oh, I imagine.
And the dogs him, of course, because I know for myself, because I'm a dog owner, I know the emotional attachment that you have with dogs and dogs have with you.
Oh yeah, they're just like kids. Dogs are just like people, you know. Like,
Yeah, so I can imagine that they are missing X.
Yeah, and dogs are completely loyal, right? And which is in the activist community always very difficult to find. So
yeah,
it's so.
Yeah, people who don't have dogs don't know what it is to own dogs because their loyalty is so extreme. You know, even if you yell at them, they still come to you. You know.
Yep.
I mean, I had my days with my dog that I was just angry at my dog for doing shit, you know, and I yelled at her, and still she came to me and, you know, tried to make up with me. And what she does, and I love that, you know, that she does that. She comes to me and puts her head on my shoulder, like giving me
Aw.
a hug, trying to make up with me, for me being angry at her. And yeah, that's an emotional connection that you have with an animal. That's yeah, it's hard to explain to people who don't have dogs, And so I can imagine that the dogs are missing X.
Hey, is there anything else we need to mention?
I guess just one thing I will say about the dogs is I know they're in good hands, at least with X's what was it, his immigrant, the exact title, his immigration lawyer.
Okay.
And yeah, she's taking great care of them. So
Okay,
Is
so
it Natalia?
also,
Is
What?
that Natalia?
no, it's another
I'm
woman.
not sure. I'm not sure who Natalia is, but I know that she's really close to X as well, and I sometimes have email contact with her. Just checking up on how things are going.
yeah. Okay, so we should mention that the 20th is the score date, and there are protests, and there will
Yeah.
be.
Is it possible to live stream this?
So it's not possible to live stream it, but you can log in and watch it.
I can. My live streaming would be illegal then, Steve, because I can just live stream it. I don't care.
I'm pretty sure it would be illegal.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, so
Well,
there are protests that day, and we have a press release coming up today. That's Friday, so that's
Yeah.
today for me today.
If it's a public hearing,
Yeah,
why
but it's
why
the
should
public
we be
shouldn't
able
be-
to live stream it?
It's
That's
just
what
going to depend on the county municipality. Really, like every place is different in the states. Like some courthouses you can't even take your phones inside. And some places you can. It's gonna. depend on-
You don't have to call it a live stream. You can say like we are watching it together
But
with friends.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would encourage everybody listening to there's it linked on the Free Commander X _ Twitter account. There's a Substack article that has the live link for the court date. We will.
Hey, we'll also push it in the press release, right? I mean, we'll post like a press release on like the freecommanderx.org. We put like a press release up too, and then we put like the live stream links and everything in it too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
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 Yep.
So let's do that. We'll Jesus, I'm tired.
Oh, stop it! No, I'm sorry.
Totally encourage people all over the place to tune into this live stream. If we have thousands of computers logging into this thing, it does send a very strong message that the U.S. doesn't get to persecute X in the dark, that there are people monitoring this situation, and that we're not going to stop fighting for our brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
as long as there can be public access to this, unlike, the whole fiasco with the Assange case, then freaking abuse it.
I mean, the more public interest there is, the more they are under pressure, right?
That's exactly right.
Yes.
So now is definitely the time for everybody to freaking rise, because if you don't, we're pretty much all doomed for real. So
And again, it's not just about Assange and about X. It's about freedom of speech and freedom of press anywhere.
right, and the right to assemble and worship who you want to worship, and all of those things. So,
Are basic human rights,
right, that's exactly right.
which
But they
are
are
under attack
taken from us live and in color and cartoon on a daily.
because they are attacking our basic rights.
And our right to broadcast satire, because we have to remember Commander X did nothing wrong. He was not involved with anything illegal. No attacks, no anything. So
Nope, that was anonymous.
this is all satire.
Right? It was anonymous. It was not us. We are not anonymous.
I'm just saying Commander X had nothing to do with that. Just saying.
No, that's what I said.
So, and if they claim anything else, they will have to prove it, right? That's the thing. And for the rest, it's just freedom of speech, freedom of writing, and you can say and claim anything you want, but it is all a form of satire, and that is how it works.
But
Storytelling.
That's the thing. On paper, we have the rights, but in practice, they violate it any way they can, right?
Yep, true. Very, very true, and it's only getting worse. I mean, when's that tariff go into effect, Mark? That's coming up pretty soon, right? A couple months.
Yeah, but then implementation is 2 years, right?
2 years, yeah.
Up to 2 years. I mean, states have up to 2 years to implement new European laws, and because they have to write the law into their own law that it fits into the books.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and technically during those 2 years, there can still be other laws made that like destroy this whole Tarek law, right? The same as with the ACTA too.
Yeah, with the ACTA, yeah.
You can technically, instead of saying like we're going to stop this, you can actually create a new idea for a new law that completely overturns it. You have to like then again 2 years for implementation. So
But be honest, the whole computer and fraud, computer abuse and fraud act or whatever it was called, is outdated.
Oh
right?
yeah.
yeah.
Just like Section 230 is, completely outdated.
But arguably here in Europe we're going to deal with things much worse, right? If everything here gets into power. I mean, ACTA 2 copyright directive, now the TEREC, and we have more coming up. This whole new AI system.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no way, you know what I mean? You'd have to be like an actual robot to be able to comply with TEREC, for real. Like,
yeah.
And
the
that's
fact
why
that, they created the whole thing after the Christchurch shooting is just that much more enraging in the first place.
And that's why we should act, because if we don't do anything, we are pretty much fucked.
Yeah, we're trying it with TEREC, but we don't have enough people for it. Like, at least with ACTA, we had a more organized defense against it. And
Right.
still, we weren't able to stop it. We only had 7 countries behind us,
Yep.
and we still weren't able to stop it. I mean, we managed to get Poland and Netherlands and stuff behind us, but I mean, yeah.
Well, and that's, that goes back to, like the underlying major problem, their whole, divide and conquer. And now it seems like everything is like one, one tragic emergency after another, where we're, like almost immune to it to a point where people are either so consumed by their basic need to, like survive and provide, or comfortable enough to not give a fuck. And there's too many people in both of those categories, and that's why we're stuck in this constant phase of enslavement. And
that's why we need freedom of speech, so we can educate the people.
Yeah, but with TEREC being in effect and with Article 13 being in effect, normal webmasters can no longer own a website. It's impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have like what, an hour? Isn't that what it is to take it down?
Yeah. So
you're gonna sleep.
Yeah. No, you're right. You have an hour to take it down, or you're going to be responsible for whatever happens. So
And the AI algorithms that that trigger the things that whatever are the flags in the system, we all know how crappy they are.
Yeah, and with Article 13, they're making website owners responsible for anything the user does. So, yeah, you can no longer have a comment section open on a website because you will be held responsible. And with the TERAC, yeah, making it even worse. Like there can't be copyrighted material in a comment. Now there can't be any threat in a comment because you have 1 hour to remove it, or you're responsible for making the threat, right? You can literally be arrested. You can no longer sleep. Like you can't sleep for 8 hours when they know. Like Dutch people go to bed at like 12 in the, and they have to be sleeping for 8 hours. You have 8 hours to post terrorist threats on their website and have them all arrested.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as your arch nemesis or your local neighborhood server troll gets mad, then they'll just wait for you to go to sleep and then spam your site with crap,
exactly.
in trouble, and then you're fucked.
Yeah.
The only thing that you can do is have administrators from different parts of the world who can take over from each other.
Yeah, but you
keep it constantly monitored.
Yeah, and that's the nice way of doing it. But 99% will, of course, choose for censorship. Like you make it impossible for them to comment, or you make or you put screening software on it, and who is going to deliver this screening software? That's going to be the European Union AI. That's going to allow you to connect to a system that pre-screens everything, right? And all the small website owners will get like a free connection to that AI system, and that AI will decide what is allowed and what is not.
Yep.
And that's how you centralize a complete internet.
Yeah, and people are self-censoring themselves already.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for fuck's sake, like him or not, they removed Trump when he was still the sitting president.
Yeah, but in the US,
And
this already happened. And in the US,
don't like Trump, they don't give a shit. Like, they don't understand the concept that free speech means protecting the speech you don't fucking like.
yeah, but at least in the European Union, we had a public fight about this, right? We went to the street, 200,000 people. We went into the streets to attack this, but in the US, it went in secret, because Trump in 2018 signed the FOSTA-SESTA bill. There was no protest against it, but no one went into the street. Everyone accepted it, and shortly after that, it was only months after that, you saw all the comment sections disappearing from the big media sites. That all happened in secret. Right, they were never made any public stir about it, nothing. And suddenly you saw, even like CNN and Fox News, they no longer have comment sections below their news articles, because FOSTA-SESTA makes them responsible for the comments.
Yeah, but when we were talking about it, on our various platforms, and God dare I say Facebook, because we were on Facebook talking about it at that time too, like, oh, they just remove our shit because they didn't want people to know about it.
Yeah, but like Facebook still hides behind CDA 230, saying we're a public marketplace and we are not responsible. But publishers like a news agency, they can't hide behind that. So they all closed their comment sections on their sites already, and they moved to Twitter and to Facebook, and they start focusing on that.
Yeah, and the legislation that we had to dissolve that whole big tech community thing, of course, didn't go through.
Yeah, we couldn't make a stir about the whole FOSTA-SESTA thing because we didn't know it in time, or we would have.
Right.
But like we weren't informed about it. Only like 2 or 3 days before it happened, I saw the adult community, the porn websites, they were protesting against it, but they were the only ones. So
yeah. The only reason I knew about it was actually because of Kenyon out of Wait a Sec.
Yeah, he's always browsing porn, of course, Jeff.
Yeah, we were actually doing some like really crazy searches, and my stupid noob self did it live on the air, we were searching some crazy shit on via Microsoft and /Pornhub just to see what kind of shit would pop up.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't have been Jeff, I wouldn't have known anything about it.
Pornhub, they were protesting.
That's actually why we didn't make a comment section on our website, but we just use a Discord server to let the people comment on stuff that we write.
Yeah, but I was shocked that there was no protest against FOSTA-SESTA, and They use a smart trick for it too, because it was they made it all about sex trafficking and saying like people were prostituting themselves on what was it, Craigslist and these sites.
Yeah, Craigslist and Backpage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the website still up?
Yeah, but it's heavily screened now because they are now Craigslist is responsible for every person who puts like a prostitution ad on. Craigslist is going to have to pay for it. So that's why there is pre-censorship now. And like in here they did it with the copyright, right? They didn't use sex trafficking for it. They said like anything copyrighted, website owner is responsible. But in law this is the exact same thing. That the only thing that is about is that the website owner is now responsible for the content the user posts. And this actually goes against fundamental basics of the internet. That's that no user on the internet can be held responsible for what another user does. That's a 1996 Internet Bill of Rights.
Well, we are going more and more to the 1984 scenario. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like living it live, I feel like.
They're defining the internet in the sense that they're making the one internet users, the real estate owners in the internet responsible for what users do, right? And they tried it first with the internet providers by breaking net neutrality. And they kind of failed at it, so now they're going at the webmasters, website owners.
If somebody comes in my house here, right, or a few guests come into my house, and one beats the other, I'm not responsible for that, right?
No, but they're making it like, okay, so first they went after the. Okay, I'm not sure if you own your house, but first they went after the person who has you rent your house from him, right? Making that person responsible, and they failed at it. That was the ISP, and now they're saying like the house owner is responsible. That is the website owner, right, for what the users do.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how you can compare it. So somebody does something in my house, and I'm responsible. That's bullshit.
Yeah, because they failed at making. If you rent it, they failed at making the person who has you rent your house from him or her responsible. Internet providers defended it really well.
Yep.
But they were strong lobbyists, and if they work together, they can actually defend against it. The webmasters don't. Yeah, except for a few very big ones, don't have that kind of unity on doing it.
Well, we should make a webmaster union.
Yeah, but like the thing is, you lose that fight because the really big ones like Facebook and Google, etc., they are exempt from that because they protect themselves with that public marketplace thing, CDA 230.
Yeah.
So they won't be there to back you up. Like,
Yeah, and even when they do try to like stand up for user data and stuff like that, I mean, look at the shit with Julian Assange. Like, Jack's the only one that tried to not give over all of his information, and still was forced to do it. But at least I can give him the fact that he protested against it and didn't just fork it over like fucking Google did.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Yeah, he eventually had to listen to it too, and yeah. But that is you can no longer with ACTA 1 we at least had Reddit and Wikipedia on our site, and now we don't you don't have it on our site anymore because they're exempt from it. And
As I said before, and I keep on saying, fuck Facebook.
Yeah.
For sure, Facebook. It's literally DARPA. I don't know why people are still there.
Yeah, fuck Wikipedia too, as long as that's gonna get brought up.
Yeah.
Hashtag delete your Facebook.
Yeah, hashtag the assholes won't let me in to delete the shit. And I lost the thumb drive that had on my data. Whatever. They still email me all the time, like, ooh, come join this developer FH refresh hackathon. Fuck you, Zuckerberg.
Exactly. The whole thing with identifying yourself, Facebook did that to me a few times when I was still in Anaheim, and they give me the argument that I'm not using a real name, right? So I had to send a copy of my driver's license,
Yeah.
The only thing that I sent them was a photo of my middle finger.
Yeah, yeah, I heard you say that on the air the other night. You know, when I first came in the movie, like I didn't know now what I know. You know, I didn't know then. You know what I'm saying? What I know now, had I known all the shit then that I know now, I would have definitely did things a lot differently. Because, you know, I did it all publicly like a jackass, but mostly just because you know I was triggered and emotionally distressed by the kidnapping of my kid. But for anybody that's, you know, new coming in, definitely learn the rules of OPSEC. It'll save you tons of money and stress and other things that the government likes to do to people who speak out against it.
But now comes the funny thing, right? I had also a private Facebook, because I deleted it. But I also didn't use my name, you know. I didn't even use our name. I was just a call sign from ham radio, right?
Right.
So I didn't, and no complaints there, you know, and I didn't need to identify myself or nothing, but just because I used Anon in it, I had to identify myself, right?
Yep.
Which goes against everything that Anonymous is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually just make fake IDs, but at some point they asked me to like show my fake ID on a picture, holding my fake ID, right? So I was able to pass that too, that verification.
Yeah,
Don't ask me how. Don't ask me how I passed that stuff, but I was able to make the fake personalities with that too, holding the fake IDs. But the next step was they asked me to send them in a signed notary letter under perjury of fraud.
Yeah, they would have got
Yeah. So first they sent you an ID card, then they asked you to hold your ID card, and then the third level was a notary letter signed by a official notary they could contact, right, and check.
It's a binding legal standing document, but I mean, don't feel bad about it because like on my personal page, you know what I mean, like none of my like Anon pages, but on my personal page, you know, I have my first and last government name on there, like the noob that I was, and even with my legitimate ID sent in, they still won't let me back in my account.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying, you know, about once every few months, I try to see if I can log in because I know that I know the passwords, and they email me the resets, and they still won't let me in. Just because, like, the last time I was unlawfully in prison, somebody stole my computers and my thumb drive, so all the data that I had backed up on there is no longer in my possession because somebody stole my fucking thumb drive. So I kind of want all my pictures and shit off there, but they won't let me in to get them, so fuck it.
Yeah, whatever. What do you need a fucking Facebook account for still? Like, don't even need it anymore.
I really want to just delete it.
Why
I can't do that. I can't log in to delete the fucking thing.
Well, the platform became completely useless.
Be a slave of Zuckerberg, right? Why you want to be a slave of Zuckerberg? Because if you don't play by his rules, you get deleted.
Yeah.
Which basically make you a slave, right?
Yeah. A consenting slave. Yeah.
Yeah, and then have you some of these people saying like, yeah, but I use it to spread the truth and stuff. No, you're not. You're only spreading the stuff they allow you to say, which is not obviously not a threat to them.
My favorite one is, oh, my friends are there. Well, then tell them to go somewhere else, or they, you know, you really don't care about your friends very much.
Yeah, like if you, but also like if you can only post what they allow you to say, then you're obviously not posting anything that they will threaten by. So
right.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that Facebook has heavy censorship.
I'm not saying Twitter is much better these days, but yeah.
No, it's not.
No. That's why I use Discord.
And Twitter's new thing, which I mean, it's really not new. It's been doing it for a while, but like it just keeps unfollowing us from each other.
Yeah.
Like, and it's always like a certain particular group of people. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's always us they do it too.
Right. I'll be like, I'm all notified. Why am I not getting, you know, like I noticed the other day I was unfollowed from Slow News Day. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. And I noticed last night that it was like Weta and I don't know, like 3 or 4 other accounts I was unfollowed from. Like, I haven't unfollowed anybody. It's just them and their fuckery.
Yeah, I never unfollowed anyone either. And then sometimes I see I'm suddenly unfollowed people. Like people I always just talk to even, like in my DMs and stuff. It's very strange. I don't even know how to do it.
I had that as well. Why people ask me like, why did you unfollow me? And I didn't unfollow you.
I didn't. Yeah. does weird shit all the time. Like I really haven't been on much just because it's like summer and it's busy season and I'm working and shit. But yeah, when I do get on, it's always some kind of fuckery.
But that also explains why my followers on Twitter goes up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Because now it's going down again, And yeah, now I know why.
Yeah, because they're unfollowing people, and then so for you, and then so the people are like, oh well, he's not following me, so I'm gonna stop following him, and yeah, it's just a cycle of crap.
Yeah, that's why they do it. Keep like accounts down, and a full shadow ban too. I'm always on full shadow ban. I don't even get off it anymore. It's like
yeah,
I type it in that's shadowban.eu. Always shadow ban, always.
But that's why I said I moved to Discord for the most part. I still am on Twitter.
Yeah, well, Discord also killed 3 servers of mine already. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I lost 2 admin accounts already. We lost the Exodus server, like 4 times in the past. So yeah, we had the Exodus server for anons leaving Facebook and stuff, and we all said we kept like spamming the invite link to Facebook and all these places. Many anons were joining. Like first Exodus server had 2,000 members or so in the first months.
Lot.
Yeah, and then got killed by Discord. So.
Well, and that's like that COVID server that went up, you know what I mean, right after the whole great pandemic kicked off, and we had a ton of people in there sharing great information, and within a month or so, it got taken down. We had to start all over.
Yeah, some people also got FBI notices and stuff that the FBI was watching them on their account, from Discord.
Oh, wow.
That's Discord is not a safe place either.
I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late here too. It's like 2:30 for me.
Anyway, if people want to find us on Discord, on the webpage is a link to our Discord server.
Yeah, imagine being on Discord and not being in the local league server.
Right.
I know I spam a lot there. I have a lot to say, so I post a lot.
That's good for news, though.
Yeah, that's my purpose. I want to inform people,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I post a lot. And I was actually hoping that other people will post as well, so it's not just me writing that all the time.
Yeah.
I post only a little bit in there, but
my thing with Discord is I go there and I'm in so many fucking servers and there's just so much stuff everywhere that I get overly stimulated sometimes, so I try not to go there too much because as soon as I log in, it's like a billion notifications. It's terrible because I don't go there very much.
Well, Matt, as I said, you're very welcome to join us.
I'm in local leagues already.
Oh yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty much everywhere. I just don't always.
Everybody in this meeting is in the local league server.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are over 200 people now already, and it's kind of hard to get an overview from who is on there and who is not.
Right. Yeah. Totally. No, I'm there. I'm mad.
I got my special mod powers right here. About to copy the invite link for the local league server.
Yeah, you also get into the special section, right? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
The special section, the legacy room.
Ooh.
Which is, by the way, not visible for everybody, so don't even bother. But yeah, like I said, I try to post a lot of information that I also got from Twitter, because I follow a lot of alternative news pages on Twitter, and if I see something that is really interesting, I post it in the local league server as well.
You just have to realize social media is just at the end of the days in that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it really is, for real.
But of course, also I tweet and of course post a lot in Discord server about Free Assange, of course, which I think is really important to have a strong voice about it, right?
Yeah, it is.
And of course, Free Commander X. There's also a channel in there. Up Israel. So much, too much to mention.
Leave the illegal things to Super Anonymous on Twitter.
Yeah, on official anonymous.
Oh, you mean the
an
real
anonymous,
anonymous, right?
Yep.
The real
what's the other one? Anonymous.
You're an on cunt.
Non news or you're non central or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
You're anonymous cunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to be fair to your non-news. They've been really friendly to me lately.
Yeah.
And they're sharing my stuff, so.
Yeah, it's always so, I don't know, cliche to me when like stuff comes out again and then you guys have to talk about it because I'm like, yeah, already knew this years ago, but that's just because I got lucky whenever I came in. So I've pretty much been with Abs since like day one. So I always know about the Everything You Love is a PSYOP before everybody else does.
Oh, it is true.
Thankfully.
You know that things which
I'm
are.
not sure I know where to go to ask.
Yeah, but you know, like, well, we have like 13 viewers now, right? If it were a PSYOP, it would be 13,000 now, right? So that's the thing. We're dealing with like real voices will get shadow banned and will get suppressed, and well, some voices that look a bit like the real voices are getting like amplified really big.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, the thing is, what I always see with ABB is a lot of people also watch it afterwards, you know. So they don't watch live, but they watch the show afterwards. When I look at the shows that was posted on your YouTube channel and how many views it gets enough views, right?
Oh yeah. But I mean, there was a time when we'd have like thousands on like every week live, but
Yeah, the early shows had for like between 25,000 and 40,000 viewers. Early shows.
Like easily, but yeah, just.
Well, on Periscope we still went to like 3,000-4,000, but now here on YouTube we don't even have. Well, we have between like 500-600 max, which is a joke.
Good. Sorry.
Yeah.
500-600 views max. That's really, for an unknown show is really a joke, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen him like remove comments like live, like I've seen it happen on Steve's show more than once, where like we'll be commenting in the chat live, you know what I mean, and they'll be removing viewer counts and live.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. The first time I seen it happen, I was like, somebody just gets censored, and then they wrote the same comment again, like, what the fuck? Who just erased me? No, nobody erased you. YouTube just erased shit.
Yeah, Steve's guys shows get suppressed too, especially on YouTube. You can see that.
Yo,
Yes.
Ruffin. No.
For example,
Okay, FIN, right?
we've been on YouTube
Honesty.
for almost
Live.
3 years. I've watched tens of thousands of people get unsubscribed from the channel. YouTube has allowed us to keep like 5,540 something people. And we've been really posting on Rockfin for less than a year. We have double
Yep.
the subscriber count now on Rockfin, and we do it on YouTube, and the YouTube videos have more views.
Yeah. Fuck YouTube too.
Like
Eat a dick fed too.
Oh, we actually, one of our writers actually made an article about YouTube and cyber stalking and etc. It's on the webpage. It's kind of a dark side of YouTube that happens with those crazy YouTubers that think they can do anything they want and get away with it. I'm not gonna name names here, but yeah, there are some how can I call them, tarts that really harass people on YouTube and live on YouTube and get away with it. So yeah, we did an article about that on local leaks.
So you can actually
Oh, was that recently? Because I actually saw it. Yeah.
on YouTube
Yeah.
you have some things you can find out if you're being suppressed actually, because they put it in your source code. Like you have the code 102 is for profanity or rough language, 104 is for sexual content, 105 tragedy or
Where
war.
do you view the source code?
You can literally like click like with your right mouse button and click like a few page source.
Okay, groovy.
See if you
I'm gonna
find
do
any of
that.
these codes in it. Yeah, because there were some YouTubers, they found out that they were being suppressed too when they said the weird stuff, and there were a lot of. So you have YouTube videos about it, like even like YouTube secret codes revealed, for example. And there's like secret demonetization codes are there.
So what are where am I looking for the code?
I'll send you the codes on Discord. This is
Okay.
at least those.
Send it also to me, Mark. Send it also to me. This may be
Done.
something interesting to write an article about.
I'll send you a video too about it. That guy will explain a little bit more about it. There is some other stuff going on, and maybe they update stuff too with codes and things. But let me see. Yeah, because on Reclaim the Net also you have an article about it. Like there are certain codes that they use to suppress content. But there's still. Okay, I have to watch a few more videos.
You talking about lines there, like
Yeah.
numbered lines?
Well, actually, that little number has to be somewhere in the code.
Okay.
And like
Yeah,
that.
but it's like searching for a needle in a haystack because there are so many numbers in the source code. So.
I'll look into it a bit more because I just remembered this. Not sure how they updated it now.
If you find it, Mark, send it also to me because this may be interesting for us to write an article about.
Yeah.
How they are kind of suppressing freedom of speech in this way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's what they've been doing. And and these codes, they were included like actually to have their advertisers and stuff know about it. Like they pick it up automatically and stuff. It's disgusting actually how this just goes.
So if advertisers see this code in the channel, they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna sell ads to that person.
Yeah, their automated systems will like disable like the ads in it. Like you sometimes like you don't have monetization on, but you still have ads in your videos, like YouTube ads. YouTube puts these ads in, well, and they ignore these videos which aren't being spread and stuff, like the suppressed ones.
I noticed that some channels have more ads than the others.
Well, ABB, you'll never find an ad. Like we're not monetized, but they're not putting ads in it either, right?
They probably put like some
Certain
politicians
React-
add on here to be ironic.
Certain React channels have like tons of ads in between.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
and it's annoying as hell, by the way. But I refuse to pay for YouTube, you know. But it's annoying as hell, those ads, because if I want to see commercials, I turn the television on. There's enough ads in there, you know.
Okay, I'm getting wasted now too. It's 10 in the morning. We did 6 hours again.
It's 10? Oh yeah, almost 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, classic anonymous fights back.
Yeah.
Throw in. Mad Mom dropped out already.
Yeah.
5:53.
Wuss?
Okay.
I mean, we are the hardcore, right? And we stay on till the end.
You have all this energy still. I can hear it, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that's the chocolate milk. A lot of sugar.
Oh yeah. It's like a gallon of chocolate milk. Feel the
A
sugary
lot of
flavors.
sugar that makes you hyperactive, right?
Yeah.
Well, until you crash.
Would it be in like the paths part of the source code?
I'm going to check this out when I'm going off air.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna fucking. Oh.
What is this? What is this Discord invite you sent Glory in the chat?
That's all the
Let me see. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
Thank
is.
you. Thank you. I was just wondering what
Looks like it should be to local leagues. It's not another one.
Thank you.
Of course.
So they said it got changed.
Yeah. I'm going to give you updated stuff about it. I'm going to go off air first because otherwise I'm afraid the stream is going to crash again.
Right. No, you're good. Okay.
I'm looking actually at the ABB source code now from YouTube, but it's such a mess. I have to take my time for reading it all, you know.
Oh
But
yeah. I see it. It's a huge thing.
If you have more information about this, Mark, send it to me because I find this interesting to write an article about.
Yeah, so basically they have it in the code already that you're like demonetized and like stopped from being promoted well, showing up in their searches and things, and they're trying to hide it now because they were caught with it, right?
Yeah.
But there still has to be something in the code that tells their advertisers and stuff automatically to not like jump on your stuff. So we'll get to that.
Experiment force flags, return void, experiment flags. Yeah, I was reading this part of the source code. You know,
I'm gonna fucking.
I'm good
dip
with
out.
HTML, so
Bye, Steve.
Have a good night, y'all.
yeah. Good night, Steve.
Good night, Ted.
Good night. I already see specific IDs, by the way. Maybe this is it already.
Anyway, like I said, send it to me if you find out where it is and what it is. Then I will write something about it.
I find these that's a serialized experiment IDs already an interesting sentence. Has a lot of numbers at it. Custom
Wait a minute.
codes.
Let me go back to the source code. Where is it, on top or in the middle or?
I'll send you the line in Discord. This was for me already an interesting one.
Okay.
Could be it. I'm not sure. I have to look at it a bit more.
Because I'm looking at the source code now from the ABB.
Yeah, I did so too. Yeah.
And yeah, it is kind of messy written, by the way. I mean, from what I make for local leagues, it's more organized than this crap.
Yeah, but this is the HTML code or the code this YouTube server spits out, right? It's not like they write this manually. The server spits this code out, and it doesn't care in any way how it looks. It just spits all the information out.
Yeah, it's kind of messy.
Yeah, it's like everyone. It's like they wrote a text without like ever putting any end to the sentence in it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the lines are like never ending, right?
Yeah.
I can scroll, and still, you know, never get to the end of the page.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the computer doesn't care about how well we can read it.
Oh well, My God, school. My God, where does the sentence stop?
The computer can read it all in less than 1 second. Todd.
Yeah, but I can imagine that if you want to work on this, you know, it's like, oh my God, you have no overview over it.
No, the easiest thing you can do is just use a search engine to see if others already found it. But maybe use like DuckDuckGo or something, because maybe Google is actually censoring it because it's a Google site. So
Yep.
use something else for it to find it.
Actually, most of the time I use DuckDuckGo because Google, yeah, you know, same as I think about Facebook is also about Google.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So I usually use DuckDuckGo on my phone. For example, DuckDuckGo is the standard browser I use. The standard page in the browser. You know, it's not Google.
Hey, maybe we should give the PSA because our listeners will be fucking bored with this stuff.
Okay. So everyone, July 20th, day of action for our brother in jail right now, Commander X. Also keep raising hell for our other incarcerated freedom fighters, and free them all, down with this empire. Fuck tourism economies, fuck imperialism, fuck the empire. So, with that being said, oh, and also freecommanderx.org for updates, and you can follow at freecommanderx_ on Twitter for those. So, with that being said, anonymous PSA, always remember to spam neuter your politicians and lobbyists and bankers and military contractors and royalty. Did it.